Hello, and thank you for joining us for this week's edition of It's Your City, brought to you by Lake Tahoe Farmers Markets, bringing a new Wednesday evening market to downtown Carson City, and by Mom and Pop's Diner. I'm your host, Courtney Bloomer, and our guest this week is the president of local nonprofit Muscle Powered, Kelly Clark. Kelly, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Courtney. I really appreciate the invitation.
Well, we're excited to have you here to talk about Bike Month in Carson City. It's coming up all through the month of June, and Muscle Powered and the organization's partners have a lot of different activities planned.
We do, and we're really looking forward to it. You know, it's a change this year. We moved Bike Month from May until June for a couple of reasons. First of all, if you've noticed the weather in May, it's sort of wintry, and we've had a lot of our parties for the end of Bike to Work Week in the snow. And we thought June would be a much better time to ride your bike to work and to promote bicycling here in Carson City. People like the weather, it's easier on families. And the other big reason is that Epic is bringing the Carson City Off-Road Challenge to Carson City in June. That'll be June 17th through the 19th. And we wanted to do Bike Month activities to tear off of that, to really welcome Epic to our community. And so we thought of a whole series of events and activities that we could do to make that happen. So we're really excited. Bike to Work Week this year is June 6th through the 10th. And then our bike party to celebrate the end of Bike to Work Week is going to be on June 11th at the Brewery Arts Center. And we have an amazing schedule of events to start off Bike Month and also to end the month. So I hope I get to tell you more about all that.
Absolutely. Lots of things planned. Let's start out with talking about Epic Rides just a little bit, because that was one of the main reasons that that Bike Month got moved from May to June here in Carson City. Mm-hmm. So that is a mountain bike event, almost kind of a whole festival that's taking place actually in large part on some trails that Muscle Powered actually was instrumental in bringing to Carson City.
That's right. Our organization, Muscle Powered, our volunteers worked tirelessly. Over 8,000 volunteer hours went into building the Ash to Kings Canyon Trail. And it took, with planning efforts and the activities of building, over 8 years to get the trail completed. Those of you who have been out on the trail, it's a beautiful 7 to 8 mile trail on the west side of Carson City. Spectacular views for mountain biking or walking, hiking. And we're really proud of the work that our organization and our volunteers have done on that. In terms of Epic, that really just came to fruition naturally. Basically, Joel Dunn with the Carson City Convention and Visitors Bureau have been reaching out, trying to get a world-class bicycle race in our community, and he completely succeeded. What I can tell you is that Epic is very well known nationally. They are doing multiple mountain bike race series, and this is the first one for Carson City, and they've already been just blown away by the number of people who are interested and have registered. They had expected maybe 600 registrations, and they've already met that. They have already received 600 registrations from mountain bikers who will be coming to our community to race and to enjoy all of the activities of the festival. And I've never been to an Epic race, but what I understand is that there will be music, entertainment. There will be a bike expo. There will be about 3 blocks of road where we'll have a criterium race going on.
There's
folks
a kids
can come
race.
downtown and really enjoy all of these activities.
And you don't have to be a hardcore mountain biker to come and take part in this festival.
Absolutely not. In fact, one of the first races to fill up was the 15-mile race, and they got locals who have all registered, and we're going to come out and root for your local. There also will be a professional level race. That will be exciting. They've got a keynote speaker, Gary Fisher. I mean, who hasn't heard of Gary Fisher?
Right.
He's the
in
originator
the mountain
of
biking
everything.
community.
And so we're really excited. This is an opportunity to bring bike culture to Carson City in a phenomenal way. And we think that the economic benefits are going to pay dividends. In other communities in Colorado, a race like this has brought in over 800,000 to the local community with room nights and food and everything else. So, you know, this is something that's just sort of naturally happened because the trails are here. But we're really proud, and we're working hand in hand with Carson City Convention and Visitor Bureau, scheduling activities and making sure that we're right there front and center, talking about trails and the value of trails, and also talking about the importance of bicycling as alternative transportation in Carson City. This doesn't take away from any of that. That's our commitment, is to try and make the roads safer for walking and bicycling in Carson City as well.
So let's talk about some of those other activities that are taking place to bring more awareness to that side of it, to promoting sharing the road, all road users, pedestrians, bicycles, automobiles. What are some of the events that are taking place during Bike Month that are going to help bring that message to Carson City?
Absolutely. So kicking off the month, we are going to have Bike to Work Week, June 6th through the 10th. And that is a great opportunity for everybody to get on their bike, dust that bike off, pump up those tires, make sure that you have a helmet that fits, and then get out on the weekend and take it for a test ride and see if Old Blue still runs. And then you can bring it down, ride it to Carson, to your work. That is one of the things we really encourage people to do. Riding to work as an alternative transportation is it's a wonderful experience. It's a way to be in your community. I can tell you, this past week I've ridden every day, and the trail that I take, I have seen red-winged blackbirds. I have probably met more neighbors than I knew I had in the neighborhood. And the other part that's really just so enjoyable is you get to work and you feel good.
Right, you're invigorated.
Yeah, you got oxygen in you. You're like ready. You don't even need that extra cup of coffee because you are awake and alive and you're ready to go. I just can't encourage people enough that riding your bike to work, and this is a way to do it in a sort of an orchestrated manner, June 6th through the 10th. That's not a lot of time.
Right, it's a good trial phase, and for people to familiarize themselves with riding to work. Lots of other people are going to be riding during that time, so you're not going to be the only bike out on the road.
Exactly. So pick up a bike map. That's something Muscle Powered has also developed. We have our bicycle and pedestrian maps available at bike shops, also at the Carson City Convention and Visitors Bureau. We have the routes on there, so you can pick a route that works for you.
Right, something you're comfortable with. And those maps, let's talk for just a second about the maps. They kind of highlight the places where it's better to bike. People look at Carson City and they say, well, I would never ride my bike there because the traffic is busy. This map points out the streets that are the best choice for you to go and ride your bike, and also points out the trails that are paved trails that run around town.
Absolutely. And we now have in Carson City a pretty amazing network of trails. Whether you want to be on the road or whether you want to be on like a multi-use trail, there are lots of options. And I can tell you that when you look at the map, if you're with a family and you have small children and they need to learn to ride, I would recommend maybe using the multi-use trail that's over by Fremont or Fremont School. If you're looking for areas that are maybe a little quicker to get to your work, just look at the map carefully, because some of the roads that you wouldn't think of are actually really good for east-west or north-south transitions. And we're continuing to work on that all the time. We always want to get the streets better. But there are many good routes, and it's usually a little off the main drag. And you'll see some areas that are really pretty, some cute little neighborhoods in Carson City that you might not otherwise see.
That's right.
So it's a great way to go. The other part of Bike to Work Week is the Corporate Challenge. That is a competition, and basically agencies or individuals, anybody who wants to join the Corporate Challenge can. And they can go to our website at www.musclepowered.org to sign up. And each year it's really fun. There's a competition, and you can compete in either the most miles ridden during that week or the most trips taken during that week. And it just kind of adds an additional flavor. And I can tell you that people really get into that.
Right, it's a little extra incentive to ride to work that week with some of your colleagues.
Exactly. And National Guard has done really well for the last couple years. So if anybody can beat National Guard, I say more power to you, because those guys really work it. Yeah.
Right.
They're doing really great.
So for those people who maybe are still feeling a little bit intimidated, they're not really ready to ride to work or to get involved in a big mountain bike race like Epic Rides, what is there for the casual cyclist, somebody who wants to go out and get on their bike, but maybe would rather do something a little more mellow?
A little more mellow. Well, the trails that I love for mellow riding are the trails that connect from the linear path from behind the baseball field all the way down to the Mexican Ditch area. And the reason I really love that trail is it goes from, it's basically a multi-use trail and it has a lot of paving, but it also has decomposed granite. So if you get out there and you're on I would say a fat tire bike is better for that. Not super fat tire, but at least a 2-inch wide tire.
Right, not a road bike, but not one of those big monster tires that they have now.
Exactly. This is not, you don't have to have a super fancy bike to get out on those trails. And what I love about that is it's super mellow. You're not dealing with cars. If you're with children, you're not worrying about things like stopping at the stop sign. You're not worrying about the vehicles at the intersection. It's really a lot more relaxing. And the other part is that when you get down into the Mexican Ditch area, the wildlife viewing is just beautiful. There's red-winged blackbirds. If you know where to look, there's the owls up in the barn. You can get down and see the wood ducks along the river. In fact, I'll also pitch on May 21st, the Friends of Silver Saddle Ranch are holding they're going to hold a breakfast and event out there. And we're going to be leading mountain bike rides from the ranch house down to the Mexican Ditch Dam. So that's just a beautiful area. And if you haven't ridden in that area, I really encourage people to get out and enjoy it. It's really fun.
All right, lots of activities happening for Bike Month. That schedule is on Muscle Powered website.
It will be very soon. I would check the Facebook site first. We're trying to get it all updated. We're actually going through a website revision on musclepowered.org right now. But Facebook, we also have musclepowered.org on the Facebook, so check there. And I will tell you that we also have, with just so much going on right now, and I'm so proud because we have a very engaged and active board. We have walks that are occurring on Tuesdays. We have an easy Tuesday morning hike. We also have an evening conditioning hike on Tuesday, and we've just added a Thursday evening conditioning hike. And then I'm leading bike rides on Thursday evenings starting at 5:30 in front of the Carson Middle School. We just had our first one last night. It was really fun. A lady who I'd ridden with on the tour of Carson, she's just brand new to it. She came out and she's now going to ride with us regularly. So it's always fun to bring new folks in. We can work on basic stuff. We can help you with learning to shift. We can help you with learning how to deal with obstacles like cracks and how to handle yourself. And we always encourage following the rules of the road and stopping at stop signs, stopping at stoplights, because we believe it's important to be responsible and safe while we're out biking.
All right. One last thing. Muscle Powered is, of course, a volunteer organization and a nonprofit organization. Always looking for new members. Tell people how they can join Muscle Powered and be part of this movement for walking and biking.
Well, we really encourage folks to sign up and become a member, and you can do that on the musclepowered.org website. Once the farmers markets start, we have our bike valet downtown, and we're happy to have people come by the booth, stop and look at a map, talk to us about anything that they have a question about, and join the organization. We are looking for more members. We have about 185 members now. We're going to be celebrating our 20th anniversary as a organization in 2 years. And so we've got a lot of really exciting things going on, and we'd love to have more people helping us. We like to support Safe Routes to School here in the community. Great opportunity to work with kids and see how excited they are to learn about how to be a safe bicyclist. We need help with writing grants. We need help with communications, and we're really trying to work on that so that we distribute our information more widely so that people know more about what we have going on. And so we have lots of opportunities, and I've just got to say it's a great group of people, really fun folks to be around, very positive. And so, as president, they make my job really easy. They just keep at it. We've got amazing group of trail workers. They're working up there on Mondays and Wednesdays. They're working on the weekends. And if you want to volunteer to work on trails, this is an exciting group to be part of.
All right, so no matter what your skill set, Muscle Powered can find a place for you if you want to promote biking and walking in our community. Kelly, thanks so much for being here with us today.
You're welcome.
Bike Month is going to be really exciting. Thanks to Muscle Powered for leading that here in Carson City. And thanks to all of you for joining us for this week's edition of It's Your City, brought to you by Lake Tahoe Farmers Market's new Carson City Wednesday evening market and by Mom and Pop's Diner. If you'd like to sponsor a future edition of It's Your City, please contact Darla at the address shown on your screen. I'm Courtney Bloomer. We'll see you next week.